Okay, in my previous video, I forgot to add a story that I remembered. I couldn't remember where, but I somehow Googled it and found it again. But anyway, it's from Stories of Spirit by Jack Kornfield and Christina Feldman. And it goes like this. A family went out to a restaurant for dinner. When the waitress arrived, the parents gave their orders. Their 5-year-old daughter piped up with, "I'll have a hot dog, french fries, and a Coke." And the dad said, "Oh, no, you won't." And turning to the waitress, he said, "She'll have meatloaf, mashed potatoes, and milk." Looking at the child with a smile, the waitress said, "So, hon, what do you want on that hot dog?" When she left, the family sat stunned and silent. A few moments later, the little girl, eyes shining, said, "She thinks I'm real." So it so clearly illustrates the way that kids are so often talked over, ignored, not seen, and generally treated as not real. And it can lead to, what I was talking about in my last video about feeling not real. And it's not imposter syndrome in the sense that like you're not qualified for a certain task or skill or whatever. It's like you're an imposter at life. You're an imposter at existence. Um, and oh, that's a rough way to live. As if everything that you as if everything that you might say or do needs to be second guessed, or third guessed or fourth guessed. It's like it's exhausting. Like spontaneity is just so drilled out of us by school, by parents, by our culture, and so on. Um, but anyway, in this video, I wanted to riff on something I think related, which is the sense of being unimpressed by life or by the universe. And I know that sounds ridiculous, and it is ridiculous, but I mean, you can look at the whole starry sky and be like, meh. I mean, it's possible to do that. It's possible to. Oh, that's my kitty cat. Meow. Um, I mean, sometimes, I look at a blade of grass and I'm blown away. And sometimes, other times, it's like I look at our entire yard and the birds and the butterflies and the flowers and the trees and the tomatoes, and it's like this again, you know. Or, doing dishes, you can be transcendently happy, or you can be like this endless drudgery. It's always the same, blah, blah, blah. Um, and it can happen with sort of if you have a spiritual insight or instinct. You can be like, well, it's me, so it can't be that impressive, right? Because it was, I mean, sort of the one of the themes of my childhood was don't get too big for your britches. Like don't be impressed with yourself. Don't think you know what's going on. Don't think you're anything special. Um, and it's really not about being special. It's about being real, being valid, belonging, and that was not available to me as a kid. And I think it's not available to maybe most of us in the United States, at least. Um, I feel like it might be changing. Like I feel like a lot of parents these days are trying to raise their kids different, um, and it is a job to be going against your own conditioning at the same time you're trying to, I mean, raise kids. They're volatile, they're unpredictable, they're spontaneous, they're all the things that we're taught not to be, and it's very triggering. They listen to their instincts, they listen to their wants, and they express their needs. And all too often we consider that inconvenient or impertinent or um, selfish or spoiled because we didn't get our needs met. Why do they think they should get their needs met? And we don't think that consciously, but that's the subconscious programming that you have to try to make conscious. as well as you can while you're trying to raise kids who trigger the crap out of you regularly. Um, but yeah, that I feel like the unimpressed one, or the one who like, I don't know. It seems like being in awe as a kid, I was kind of ridiculed for it. When I was super enthusiastic about something, somebody would like put a lid on that real fast. Uh, so you learn to take this pose of like, yeah, whatever. And then it becomes like everything becomes like, oh, whatever. Like you lose that innate ability to be awestruck by things, be amazed by simple things. And I guess it's similar to unworthiness. Like the whole universe is unworthy because I'm in it, you know? Um, I'm trying to explore its mysteries, plumb its depths, just experience it. And if I'm the one at the center of all that, then it can't be all that impressive. No, nothing can. Of course, I'm not at the center of anything, and it is a relief the more I realize that. The more I can live it, the more I can embody it. It doesn't have to be impressive or unimpressive. Who the hell is there to be impressed? Like it doesn't make any sense. But it's just one of those sort of sticky shadows that it's kind of burned to the bottom of the pot. And it's one of those things where so many shadows that keep trying to come up until you really give them the time of day. Until you really, you don't just try to fall into it as if like that's just the truth, and you don't want to dissociate from it, like distract from it. It's like being really present with it. It's the middle ground, I think, that Angela was talking about in the online retreat. Um, where it's something not exactly you. I don't know what I don't know what does this, but there's a sense of being with really difficult old feelings as they pass through the system without distracting and without falling into it as if it's just truth, as if it's just how it is. And it can be a very excruciating place to be. Uh, because you're not, I hate to personify things, but what the sensation seems to want to do is convince you that it's real and that's how life is and that's how things are, and welcome to reality, right? Um, and then that reality is unpleasant. I mean, or the sensation is unpleasant. So then, like maybe you eat something, maybe you scroll internet, maybe you watch the TV, maybe you even go for a walk, which is not a bad thing in itself. But if you're using it to distract yourself from sitting with feelings, it can be fine. I mean, sometimes you're just not ready to feel something. There's no hurry. But the point is, if you want to, I don't know, it's funny talking about making progress when there's no time. It's kind of a weird paradox. But things do seem to shift the more I can sort of stay in that middle ground and let years and years and years and years and years worth of suppressed material come through. And I've been kind of at it for about 3 years, more intensively with kind of more bandwidth and more time spent in the past several months. And it's gotten more difficult in the past several months. I think because it's like all right, we got we got some of the upper level stuff um, more or less taken care of. Now let's get to the really deep, old, burnt on, you know, rotten crap. And it is a lot. But I also feel, I feel often kind of at the edge of, sometimes, yeah, I feel like I'm skating around the edge of my tolerance. Like sometimes I have all the bandwidth in the world and I can breathe through something that would be excruciating if I tried to clamp against it or tried to distract from it. But when you just open the channel as much as you can, and don't ask me how I know how to open the channel. I don't know how to open the channel. It's more like I resist the urge to clamp against the channel. And by the channel, I'm kind of talking about it. It tends for me to travel through the midline from bottom to top. Maybe, I don't know. Like that's how I perceive it. Yeah, sometimes there's no problem. I can sit there and let everything go through. Other times, especially if I'm dealing with other people, um, I can get past my tolerance and really just need to distract for a while, or breathe for a while, or just be alone for a while, whatever. And I'm glad. I mean, I'm glad. It's kind of like you know, do what you want, like let it rip, because it's just pain. It's just illusion. It's just filters, and I don't need them. I was gonna say I'm safe, but that's not really the point either. It's like there's no guarantee that my life will continue the way I want it with good health, et cetera, et cetera. Like I had two kind of minor traffic accidents. Somebody rear-ended my car last week, and this week somebody else hit a deer, and but it was still on the road, and it was too late for me to swerve and miss the deer, so I ran over the deer with the car, and it kind of bumped up the bottom of my car. And then like yesterday, there was a big tire in my lane. Like luckily uh, I had time to change lanes and miss it, but it's like the universe is I mean, I don't know, maybe it's a joke, maybe it's a coincidence, maybe it's a warning, I don't know. But it's kind of rattles me a little bit because I mean the fact is nobody's safe as an apparent individual, and you got to live anyway. You got to take that on board and keep going, because the more you deny it, the more, I mean, it's illusion to deny that. And I've done that for a long time, but energetically it's much easier said than done. So yeah, impressed, unimpressed, weird, normal. I don't know, what can you say about this universe? Not a whole lot. And yet it keeps showing up with all these colors, all this spontaneity. Kids keep being born and reminding us that control is an illusion, and that's it for now.